Thanks for tuning in to our little radio play this evening. I'd like to give a brief background of the style we're trying to emulate. Between the 1920s and the mid-1950s, radio was king. Millions of listeners would tune in to hear comedy shows, panel shows, game shows, and great dramas. There was no internet, TV, and not everyone had a phone. Especially for rural listeners, this was their way to stay in touch with the rest of the world. From FDR's Fireside Chats to Little Orphan Annie, there was a show for everyone. Most all radio was sent out live and often only exists today because of transcription discs or wire recordings. The recordings themselves are very lo-fi, but have such a charm to them. These programs were often performed live in front of audiences where there would be an announcer or narrator. Most of the primetime radio shows had big stars recreating their movie roles or feature comedians playing for laughs. Since there is no visual aspect to a radio play, all sound effects had to be performed live and are often very loudly mixed to emphasize what action is taking place. Most shows had a sponsor and would break for commercials. Listening to some of those old recordings today, they sound very dated, campy, and over the top. But they are really entertaining. The story you are about to listen to is a Christmas tale featuring the characters from the feature film The Reluctant Detective, which is also available to view on YouTube. Although it helps to know that story, you should still be able to enjoy our holiday radio play, regardless. Without further ado,
welcome to tonight's story, A Very Reluctant Detective Christmas. It's the fast-paced story of a famous TV detective who, with the help of his wife, solves a mystery close to home during the holiday season. Now, on to the story. We find ourselves in, of all places, Los Angeles, California. You have to imagine yourself at the home of the well-known cable actor Bennett Stephens. He is enjoying a drink and is lounging in his affluently decorated living room on a rare day off. His wife Kelly, a knockout brunette with a wicked sharp tongue, strolls into the living room waving an envelope.
We got a telegram.
What does your mother want?
How do you know it's my mother? Might be for you.
None of my friends even knows what a telegram is.
Bennett takes a gulp from his glass of vodka and goes to pour himself a double.
Kelly, this is your mother. Stop. Rush home right away. Stop.
That's all it says?
Yes.
How cryptic.
I'm going to pack.
Bennett leans back in his chair and grabs the only thing he will need for the trip, his vodka bottle.
I'll pack too. Do we have any bubble wrap?
After a long journey, Bennett and Kelly finally arrive, road-weary and ragged.
Mother? Ma, you here?
Yes, dear. In a minute.
Oh, thank God she's okay. Put the luggage down, try to find the light.
Hello, dear.
Fish?
The only.
You surprised me. What are you doing here? Where's my mother?
No idea. I got this telegram calling me back.
We got a telegram, too. Was it signed from my mother?
No. Mine was signed by a friend.
Well, isn't that cryptic?
What's cryptic?
It means puzzling, ambiguous, mysterious.
Well, aren't you just a regular thesaurus?
What's a thesaurus?
I'll explain later.
So, now it's getting good. Kelly and Bennett are called back to the original scene of the crime to find that not only is her mother missing, but Fish has also been called back by a mysterious telegram. Stay tuned as we break for a word from our sponsor and for station identification.
Now, here's a real solution to many of your Christmas shopping problems. If your friends smoke a long cigarette, give the best of long cigarettes, Fatima.
Give Fatima for quality.
The name Fatima has always stood for the best in cigarette quality.
Give Fatima for flavor.
Fatima has a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette.
Give Fatima. They're extra mild.
Yes, Fatima is the long cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make Fatima extra mild. Yes, extra mild.
So give Fatima for Christmas in the attractive golden yellow carton.
It's the long cigarette that has doubled and redoubled its smokers. Yes, more and more smokers every day agree Fatima is the best of all long cigarettes.
You're listening to MBS, the Master Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. The previous night, Bennett and Kelly had returned to her hometown to see what all the hubbub is about and why her mother sent her a telegram calling her back. Bennett is woken from a sound slumber by Fish.
Time to get up, sleepyhead.
Easy for you to say. Why are you so cheery?
I got a great night's sleep and woke so refreshed.
I can't believe you won the coin toss for the spare bed.
Kinda hard to lose with a double-headed coin.
You rat.
Good morning, hon. Sleep well. Look what I have for you.
Decaf?
Oh, my mother had.
Still no sign of the old bag then, huh?
No, I'm starting to get worried.
I think we should call the police. Remember, I'm just a TV detective.
I'll make the call.
So, what are we going to do today?
Well, it's close to Christmas. Maybe we could find a nice tree or hang some nice decorations.
Christmas is your favorite holiday. Why have your missing mother upset you, right?
They're sending a detective over soon.
After the gang have dressed for the day, there's a ring at the door.
That must be the detective. Fish, would you let him in, please?
Oh, boy.
Detective Forbes?
That's right. How did you know?
Detective Henry Forbes?
Oh, you must know my brother, Hank. I'm his twin brother, Harry, the not-so-evil twin.
Well, come on in, Detective. Have a seat.
So when's the last time you saw your mother?
Well, it's been a while, to be honest. We got a telegram asking us to come home, signed by her. And our friend Fish got one, too.
That's mysterious, or rather cryptic, wouldn't you say?
Sounds like a thesaurus to me.
Mr. Stephens, I believe you're the gentleman that put my brother behind bars. I just want to say there are no hard feelings. He was a crooked cop, and he deserved what he got.
Thank you, Detective. So can you do some checking about my mother-in-law?
Sure thing. I'll check with the hospitals, morgues, back alleys, pimps, bookies, you know, the usual.
He is his brother's twin.
Thank you, ma'am. Did you arrive first?
No, Fish did.
Did you have a key?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah, my client pleads the fifth.
Did your mother have any enemies?
Her only enemy was my husband.
I see. Were there signs of a struggle?
No, there wasn't a struggle.
I think I have all I need to go on. Mr. Stephens, would you like to ride shotgun on this with me? I would consider it a high point in my career. I just love your show.
Yeah, sure thing, Detective. Let me grab my fedora. I'm famous. Want to touch me?
Oh, brother. Oh, just once I'd like to outshine the wonderful Bennett Stephens.
I got an idea. You game?
What do you have in mind?
Let's beat them at their own game. Let's do some detecting of our own.
That's a fantastic idea. Let me just go get my hat.
You need a little powder, too.
This brings us to the halfway point in our little Yuletide dramedy. Just in time for a word from our sponsor, before we see if Fish and Kelly will outwit the famous Bennett Stephens.
New from the fine folks at Acme Distributors.
Do you have a holiday party to go to, but you're not sure what to bring? Now we've got our brand new applesauce bacon cream cheese from Acme Distributors. And let me tell you, people are loving this cream cheese applesauce bacon dip. Let's take a listen.
Wow, this is good.
Oh, goodness, this is the best I've ever had.
It's better than that.
You see what I'm saying? applesauce, bacon, cream cheese dip is fun for the kids and the adults and everybody in the room. Because everybody always comes back for Acme applesauce, bacon, cream cheese dip.
When cold is weather's getting down, just call on Quinine. Relief in the doctors all around, so call on Quinine. Famous now for years and years.
Forget those C's and sniffle fears.
When cold and weather's getting down, just call on Quinine.
Welcome back to the action. So far, we've learned that Bennett's mother-in-law, Carol, is missing, and we've met Detective Harry Forbes, the not-so-evil twin brother of Detective Forbes. We come upon the dingy basement apartment of Tommy Thompson, the stool pigeon turned informant who's always trying to go straight. As the wife and her gangster come upon Tommy, we find him peacefully eating his breakfast.
Who is it?
A friend.
I don't got any friends.
Okay, then. Congratulations, you've won the Irish sweepstakes.
I'm not Irish.
Open the damn door before I kick it in.
Mrs. Stephens, what are you doing here?
We need some information, Tommy.
Information?
My mother went missing, and we're trying to find her.
Missing?
What are you, a freaking parrot? Eat a cracker and shut up.
She's nowhere to be found. I'm starting to get worried. We needed to find someone who's got the pulse of the town, but ultimately decided on you since you're the only one we could find.
Well, I'm living the clean life now. No more rackets or schemes for me. I got a good job. I'm a bag boy at the bijou market. And if I work hard, the manager says I could work myself up to check her in a year or two. Then I'll be on Easy Street.
Oh, your parents must be so proud.
Back to my mother, please.
Well, did she ever come back from her cruise?
Cruise?
She came in about a week ago, beaming from ear to ear about winning a cruise. Then she yelled at me for putting her eggs on the bottom and her cans on top.
You live, then you learn.
She never told me about a cruise.
It was the strangest thing. She said she didn't even enter a contest. She got a telegram saying she won, and she had to leave the next day or she would forfeit the prize.
Ah, looks like we solved the mystery. You didn't send me or Fish any telegrams, did you?
No, honest, I didn't, Mrs. Stephens.
Oh, doesn't hurt to try. Let's go see what the bully boys have been up to. Thanks, Tommy.
Later that evening, Bennett returns home to find his wife sitting on the couch waiting for him.
Come on in, darling. Oh, you look exhausted. Fish, a drink at once.
I am exhausted. This police work ain't easy. Now, brace yourself, honey. We dragged the rivers, checked the morgue, and even went to all the back alleys and dumpsters in the county. Your mother is nowhere to be found.
Oh, sure she'll turn up. Maybe she took a vacation or cruise or something.
Honey, leave the detective work to professionals, okay?
Here's your drink.
Thanks, Fish. Everyone thinks they're a detective.
Oh, this came for you earlier today. Another telegram.
You didn't open it?
It wasn't addressed to me, darling.
Since when did that stop you? Greetings, chumps. I have a surprise for you. Stop. Set 2 extra places for Christmas Eve dinner. See you at 6. Signed, a friend. Stop.
How strange.
Yeah, it's almost cryptic.
So, Fish, what's on the menu for tomorrow night?
The 7 fishes.
Couldn't that be considered cannibalism?
You're right. I'll switch filet mignon with a nice merlot sauce.
Now we have come to the climax in our little holiday story. But first, we must pause for station identification.
You're listening to MBS, the Master Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Bennett and Kelly are anxiously awaiting their 2 extra dinner guests.
Fish, would you please?
Already on it. Oh boy.
What now? Former Detective Forbes?
Why are you surprised? Didn't you get my telegram, chumps?
You sent those? I thought you were in prison. And what are you doing here, Sargenti?
That's Mayor Sargenti.
Mayor? You're the mayor now?
After your old boyfriend was set up to the river, the town went to pot. And the criminals had to step in to keep the streets safe.
Forbes, if you sent the telegrams, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
You know what I mean.
What did you do with my mother-in-law?
Well, as a Christmas gift to you, I sent her on a cruise so she wouldn't be around to bother us.
A cruise, you say?
So you planned this whole dinner just to spend time with us?
Prison is a lonely place. Around the holidays, it gets even more lonely. Even my prison boyfriend Raoul is no comfort. So I convinced the mayor to spring me for Christmas so we can eat, drink, and be merry.
How odd, but how kind. It's good to be with friends on Christmas. Merry Christmas to all.
Well, now that we solved that little mystery, let's take a moment to hear from our alternate sponsor.
It's 2 in the morning. You open your eyes to an annoying itch in that special private place. You don't want to wake your spouse, but you do have some magic solve, a funnel, and a special place back scratcher. But it's not for your back, it's for your bunghole. Let's listen in.
Oh, that feels so good.
Honey, did you say something? I was trying to sleep.
Sorry, honey. Go back to bed. Everything is okay now.
You sure you don't want me to scratch your special place?
I have my scratcher. Thank you.
Then thank you, Acme, for letting me get more sleep.
Welcome back to the Reluctant Detective Christmas Mystery. We close our little novella the way it started, with Mr. and Mrs. Stephens. Oh, and their good friend Fish.
What a great job you did on the Christmas tree and the decorations. I don't know how you got such a nice tree so late in the day on Christmas Eve.
Fish knows a guy.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. What a strange but endearing Christmas.
We have the nicest friends, darling. You know, Forbes might be a Looney Tune, but he did make me think about how lucky I am to have you in my life, Benny.
I feel the same way, Sugar.
God bless us, everyone.
Thank you all for tuning in to our little festive holiday story filled with intrigue, mystery, and a little comedy. We invite you to tune in next week at the same time, and until then, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.
You've been listening to A Very Reluctant Detective Christmas, written specially for radio by Christopher S. Lombardi, starring Bristol Pomeroy as Bennett Stephens, Elisa Ravinsky as Kelly Stephens, and Lou D'Amato as Fish. You're listening to MBS, the Master Broadcasting System.